section today, we're going to do this by Mark Evans. Mark, the floor is yours.
Well, I've had plenty of time to short.
All right, that's it. All right.
I'm not going to make this too long. For me, as most of you probably know, this is my last meeting, as a board. And really, the plan was I was going to hang up the AD stuff and the coaching stuff, and I was going to come back for another year just so I could be on this board, strictly for this board, and because it means that much. But things don't always work out, and I do have a new president. The president did offer me 2 different opportunities, and really proud, I think, to continue that. But I have a almost 1-year-old granddaughter, and some of her needs don't let me be in there in some mornings, and I just couldn't let that go. I'm an old grandpa. I don't know how long I'll be around, so I got to enjoy it. I get to watch her several days a week when I want. So, all good. Since it is my last meeting here with all of us, I've been really fortunate. Not many people can say that they've got to do exactly what they wanted to do and love to do forever. My whole life's been like that. I've been so fortunate. Jobs always came, and they weren't jobs. And so, I never really felt like I ever had a job. So, it's really cool to have that. When you start thinking about that, you start thinking most of us in here got here somewhere. And when I think about it, I think about all the people that I should thank for giving me this opportunity to be where I'm at today. You all, that's all the good stuff. So it's really about that. And so when I think back, and I promise I'll put the hell out. First of all, when I think about it, I'm grateful for those people, and I think we all should appreciate those people. And it starts with my parents. They read everything, and we all know where this is from today. It's about that support. It's about them being there that makes a difference. You don't have to have the most money in the world, but you look around and you see those kids that are doing well, or they don't always work perfect. They have that kind of support, and I had that. I'd also, this is kind of crazy, but I'd also have to thank some little old man by the name of Sister Sylvester. This is a true story. Unbelievable. She was my grade school principal, okay? And I went on, went to school and everything, and she kind of kept up with me. And I was going to be a marine biologist. I was going to go to Florida State. I spent 2 years global. I was getting ready to go. I spent 1 year ago. I was getting ready to go probably the following year. And she called. And she said, I had a coach with it. Mark, would you mind giving that a shot? I'm 19 years old. I said, okay. Well, I did that, and it worked out real well. So following the fall, I already made out my schedule. I did another phone call. It was again from Sister Sylvester. And she said, Sister Sylvester Marie, and she said, Mark, I have a real favor to ask you. So, okay, Sister, what's up? She goes, would you mind taking a break from college and teaching for me at 20 years old? 7th and 8th grade kids. And I never said no to her. I said, all right. So I canceled all my classes, did it. Well, that changed everything for me, because the coaching and the teaching part, I never thought about doing this. I never thought about, I was lucky enough to play and everything. Never thought about that. But she, thankful that she opened that door. Of course, my wife and daughter, because they had to share me all 3 years, because, it's not always easy being a coach of wife and daughter, because they do have to share, and I'm always those my teams did. What got me in the high school, I'm really thankful for my travel softball team. I had one of the better softball teams in the state, and travel team, and they were all 14 and under kids, 15 and under, something like that. a lot of them were in Mercy Academy. And they've been to camps there, so they knew the AD well, so they went to the AD and said, we want Coach Evans to coach us. So she hired me. That was my first varsity ball game. So I'm thankful for those kids. I'm really thankful for my players, my coaches, my managers, my trainers. I mean, you know, I've been lucky. And if you've ever seen any of our own teams play, we play for each other. They play hard. And so, you know, I'm thankful for that to give me my opportunities. And one of the things I'm most thankful for is this board. Having 2 terms, last 1 year, unfortunately, it's been fantastic. You know, I'm really thankful for that. Thankful for all the friendships. You know, this is something special. So for our new members, embrace the hell out of it, because it is something special. You know, and we always say, way back when in my first orientation, said something like, you know, we agree to disagree, but not be disagreeable, something to that effect. But, you know, you'll see us kind of battle things out in here sometimes. You think, oh, there's some edge there, there's some tone. But, you know, we're having refreshments that night all together. You know, so anyway, I'm thankful for that, what I've got out of that. Basically, you know, and kind of moving down the line, you know, I'm really thankful for our KHSAA staff, you know, our assistant commissioners, our associate commissioner. I mean, they're incredible. You know, they make us as a board look fantastic all the time. I've never been to an event that they weren't involved in that I wasn't proud to wear that. So thank you for that. Sorry. That was too long, too late to be late. Finishing that, you know. Damn. Thankful for that guy. You know, I've been lucky. I've had great parents. I've had a lot of really, really great men in my life. Moving on, let's get off of that stuff. You know, I just, you know, I wish everybody the best going forward. I welcome our new members. Like I said, it's a special group. And, you know, our kids in this state are so lucky to have all of that. Because more so than any other state, because we go to conferences and I always enjoy going to Reno or somewhere. And I heard the biggest budget done stuff in all these different states that do everything. And we were so far ahead. Because all I could do was sit in there and listen to that stuff because it was so far behind out of some little state like Kentucky, where we are, because of people like you and the staff you guys. So thank you, and I appreciate everything. I know that wasn't really a reflection, but it saves the hell out of when we go round table.
Mark, thank you. Very hard for me. I think it drives home too, we talk about the sisterhood. Every kid that we deal with is just one carrying a belt away from that success or it's making a difference, and we drive that home. And we make sure that our folks will go back home and that we work with understand that as well, because sometimes we forget that. So, item 5 be to approve, I guess, our May regular meeting minutes. So I need a motion to approve those. Great. Second. Mark. Opposed? All in favor? Should have done that backwards. Sorry. All right. All right, item 6, district seating plan, District 13 of Franklin Simpson, Logan County, Russellville, Todd Central, and or Todd County Central. About talking or something we haven't here.
We do, Mike, we want to join Secretary Mike Smith, the athletic director and designated rep at Todd County Central. And just very short nutshell, they agreed in their district to seed, and within that seeding plan, set up a schedule. You've got copies of what I sent out that's really, but Mike has appealed that decision. And I don't want to say appeal, I think he's looking at the board for some clarification. It's not technically not a appeal, but he is, as a member of school, we always want to welcome our members, and Todd County and Newport is no short trip, so we appreciate his commitment to the topic. I will say from a technical standpoint, we will ask Mr. Howard to recuse from voting on this. Am I correct, Chad?
That's correct. And we talked. We talked.
Yeah, I just want to be sure the rest of the board understands it, but we just talked about recusal. Doesn't mean he can't tell you what their school feels like, but he has to not participate in the vote.
All right, thank you guys. That's two self-acts to follow, the longest pre-meeting in the world, and I appreciate those comments too. I want to qualify a couple of things. I've got most of my thoughts to stay on point, written out. I've practiced it a couple of times, got to get 20 minutes, both times I'll try to keep it down from there. But I want to qualify a couple of things. One, I'm going to say I admire a lot. I'm here on behalf of the student athletes, the coaches, and parents, and administration. When I say I admire that we have that work on. And the other thing is, it's customary to open presentations with thank you. I want to qualify that. This is my 21st year coaching middle and high school athletes in soccer, my 20th year as a coach for the KHSAA. I've got 10 years classroom teaching experience, and I'm in 23 days into my second year of training. But I just wanted to tell you all that. So when I say thank you, I understand what you do and what you give, and I appreciate that. And I want you to know if it's sincere or not, so I want to do a presentation. So basically, if you guys have an idea of what we're here to talk about, I'll just skip a little bit. My overriding role or purpose is to make decisions that benefit students as an educator. And then focusing on athletics, I focus on student athletes. And I believe we share that overriding purpose. And I know you guys agree. I don't necessarily think what is happening, I think we agreed on some things, is in the spirit of benefiting. I think that maybe administrative convenience is taking a priority over the student athletes and causing some negative situations. So that's what I would like some clarification and some help with. I've got my perspective here in three parts. We'll go quickly, but first part is basically what I interpreted bylaw 22 to be, and share that with some background. I know Commissioner Tackett, if you're willing, I'll talk about that as well, because I think there's some issues with not following some suggestions that clearly made. And then issue 3, I want to go through the exact situations that were in at our school and how this is negatively impacted my student athletes. So one, I don't think there's a provision in bylaw 22 or a scheduling plan where 3 schools can enter a 4th school into the contract so that 4th school liable for free. And so I went to bylaw 22, looked at section 4, there's a whole section on contracts, and it talks clearly about what seeding is, the seeding plan, and reads the seed, what that means, and it says you're in a contract, which it just don't label it your contract. It clearly says the recipient of a contract between 2 member schools. It defines 2 member schools as how that contract works. Section G then under there clarifies districts who vote to see regular season play by default into a contract. Competition rules say then if you have to play a game between the first day of the season and the last window, the seeding plan, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, the seeding plan crunches all the district games into every Tuesday in the 6 weeks, middle 6 weeks of the season. Then they play in the first week, And I'll talk about how that causes an issue going forward. So I think there's some, and I'm skipping around here. I think there's no way scheduling days of play to be interpreted to be part of a seating plan. I think they should be a school decision. Scheduling is mentioned in as far as failure to play a scheduled contest in bylaw 22, and then it's a case explanation. It does say upon implementation of seating plan and within the specifics of that plan. I could not find any provision or even the word scheduling plan in any of the cases. Seating is really clear. Number of games you're going to play, how you're going to score that, wins, loss of points, score, stuff like that. Tiebreakers. Okay. So that's why I was upset. And Commissioner Beckett got involved. And we had a meeting over Zoom. And he did validate the agreement that had been signed by a majority. Obviously didn't sign it. I was listening earlier. I know that has excluded me from anything, but I didn't sign it. But I didn't sign it. And he got involved. And I think even though we validated, I think I'll probably see it, we validated that the majority vote did occur. He was real clear that there were some issues, and in fact, I believe I've got it here right in front of me. That flexibility needs to be, that's an exact quote. In fact, in the bottom 3 paragraphs of that email, words like accommodation and flexibility were mentioned 8 times. That's been my whole point. I want my coaches to have the flexibility to build the schedules that best help their team. And that changes. Now, I want to get to this in a minute. Something Commissioner Beckett also said, he said in that meeting, he would say that he was sitting across the table from me, pretty close now. And I disagreed with it at the time. He said he didn't think I'd been clear and presented a clear plan. And he was right. I buried a bunch of stuff in emails. I hope we don't all read our emails. So I did that. On May 15th, I sent out a suggestion for a seating. What I asked for was instead of playing every game on a Tuesday, that's for fall and spring, or every game on a Friday for winter sports, I asked for 2 days. And I also asked that the first week, last week of the season, be open. I did not get a reply. So moving forward, and this will make things more clear. And I learned, I'm a communication guy, that professor at Murray State says if you won't use this, don't hand stuff out to them before you start talking. So I've got copies of this. I'll leave for everybody. Stuff I'm looking at over there, the folder of Jared. I don't see this. I'm making stuff up. We've got issues in our school. We've got serious issues. We've got enthusiasm issues, players, parents, community. We've got performance issues. We've got financial issues. We've got some things we need to work on, specifically with girls soccer and girls basketball. Our girls soccer team, I'm doing everything I can. Facebook postings, calling people. I finally got 7 out for preseason this year. The coach quit last week. I hired coach Monday. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. And one of the things I noticed in looking at this is the volleyball team that doesn't have, of course, a male counterpart to be in the shadow of. They play JV and varsity every night, and they're fine. They're doing very well. Our softball team, they play a JV varsity each night. They're doing great. Soccer games and basketball games were always played as varsity boy girl double headers. The girls always played. The girls are always opening act. I can't feature these young kids in soccer. I can't feature these girls if that always happens. And that's what I have to build enthusiasm. We all know our middle schools and our JV teams is where that comes from. So that's something that the schedule prevents me from doing. It goes further. It's not as bad in basketball, but in soccer, we only get 21 games. So I'm going to talk about the soccer part. We can't play them in JV. We can't play our district schools.
junior varsity competition. And something I skipped that I want, before I get to that mention, I learned something from Mr. Howard when I became an AD. I didn't necessarily, when I started as a soccer coach, the first time as a soccer coach, and then later the AD job, that I didn't understand the importance of district play. And he said to me, these are our most important, most well-attended, most exciting games. We put a premium on district play. And I have come as AD to believe wholeheartedly, 100%. They are the most important. In our community, we're really working, and we have a reciprocity agreement with the school. We've got aunts and uncles, grandparents, cousins, and friends. They go to church together. So for Russellville and Logan County and us, it's like one big community. These are the games that people don't play. We can't do that necessarily in soccer. We would have to play Monday. So the scheduling thing says if we want to play JV, the JV games happen on Monday, middle six Mondays. The varsity games happen on Tuesday. I'm not one of you. I don't have enough players for JV. I've got to have varsity play JV to have a JV team. We have to send an extra bus. I've got to take, I can't schedule a varsity game on that Monday before Tuesday, but it takes those 6 games. Mondays out of the equation, because I'm the JV coach also. We don't have a huge staff. We got one field for 6 teams. So I'm losing that part of my schedule. Then go play JV. I don't get to practice before one of the most important games that's Tuesday. So there's some competitive aspects, some transportation, some financial. And if we were doing that, playing 3 teams would take 50% of our available weekly schedule. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays for tournaments. Leave that out. But I know if y'all are hungry, I brought 20 slices of pizza in here. 3 of you got 10, and the rest of you have to split it. There'll be some hungry people. It's just not, it's not equitable for us. Same holds true in basketball. I want to have a JV or girls district game and feature girls. I'm going to make my boys soccer. And from a revenue standpoint, I know for a fact I can make more money with the JV boys or varsity boys game because of the enthusiasm we have. And then make more money on a featured girls game because I'm going to make all those people. Also want to sell passes. We've got people in our community who will come to every district offering. Right now, you have to choose between boys soccer and girls soccer being played, and then volleyball being played in the gym at the same time. As an AD, I never went to a district volleyball. I'm coaching my soccer team during every district volleyball game. I need that flexibility to change some of this. I'm not talking about asking them to change. If you took all the games and put a percentage on it, I'm asking for the schedule. Maybe change 12.5%. Say 87.5%. So that's the definition of flexibility. I'm asking for to round it up 10%, to allow some of these things to happen. And that includes opening the first week of this. I tell you what, and I've got experience with this, I'll say you have some stories. You open your season in a local small community with the district game, the other team is not playing, this whole team and the coaching staff will be watching. And you will make money. And if you close the season with a district game that has seeding orders and impact what's going to happen the next week, and a lot of the other teams aren't playing, they will come to watch. So there's some benefits there for everybody. I think we can make between $3,000 and $5,000 extra by switching up just the whole year. I'm just asking about having control over my money. That's equipment. That's a set of uniforms. That's a pitching machine. That's real stuff. And again, I don't have this flexibility. We've also got parents that's got to set up one plays softball, one plays baseball. They always play at the same time. And this woman is one of the few that will come help me with my game. And she said, well, I'm not going to get to watch the whole game with my kids anyway. I might as well get here help make money. She said that. I said, what's the problem? She said, well, I think they all play at the same time. And when I asked the coach about it, and the principal about it, and the superintendent about it, they all said we should be able to make that change. our home game. And I had to say no, because the 3 other schools we compete with. And I don't know that that's right. So with the flexibility thing, here's what we're looking at. So the spirit of the Olympics, and again, I have these over here. Gold, the yellow is gold, that's when most districts came. Gold, silver, bronze, honorable mention is the red. So what I have is District 14, that's immediately to our east. District 8, which is over to our west, and then our district. And this is 2019, we all know what basketball. So I went back and looked, just to take District 14, and I'm talking about why that's important. Just to see here in a minute. 38 games were played on Thursday, 30 were played on Tuesday, 16 on Monday, 10 on Wednesday. That's in fall. District 8, 18 on Tuesday, 10 on, or 18 on Thursday, 10 on Tuesday, 8 on Monday. Really flexible, and the same pattern holds true. I think I'm fortunate to be in a region with one of the best sports districts in the state. Like, I want to model think that for what's going on. Here's how it is. These are when all the games, we don't have wrong permission. We've got rain, and snow. That was the deviation. And that causes issues like last year with COVID. Got an email in here. We've got 3 policemen right now. We have a district policy where we want on-site security for the district. That's 3 police officers in the whole town. That's who we pay to. That email and chief of police. He said we'll try to get it. Well, when we got multiple events going on same night, it's hard to have that coverage. Last year we ended up having 5 events on campus. It was me, 1 principal, 1 police officer. 3 of those were for the events for this schedule. It was a nightmare. We didn't have the superintendent show up, but luckily he helped. I know Commissioner Tackett can validate that, but I'm quite sure we saw pictures of that phone call stuff. It wasn't because we weren't trying to follow the COVID protocol. I was coaching a game. 1 principal was over the football, it was tough. It was tough. One of the things that's important with that schedule I just did, and I'm going to wrap this up. I want to thrive in district. I've experienced, I want my opponents to be the best. It concerned me that the only leeway I think in the discussions we had was, well, you can force it. Nobody wants to force it. Kids don't want to. That's not what we're doing. I want my opponents to be the best they can be. I want my district to be the best they can be. We're an all-A school, for example. In the UHA, I took a team that's always statewide to overtime loss from doing it with this team last year. Well, if you get there, you got to play 2 games on Saturday if you stay away from a little collegiate. Then you got to play Sunday. So in reality, what I'm planning for is to play a game Thursday, travel Saturday or Friday, play 2 games Saturday, 1 game Sunday, and I don't want to come home and play a district game. I certainly don't want to play half the players in the JV game on Monday, but that right now, that's the reality. That's not. I need flexibility. And I wouldn't want to play it. I went back to, I gave this to all my coaches. I went back 8 years. And I just looked at our schedule when Todd County had the best teams they had. And they were always playing teams from District 4. When we stopped that, we're feeling down. You have to, if you want to be the best, you have to play. That's just everybody in here knows. And I want the flexibility to have them. Well, as you guys saw, when most of them have Tuesday open and I'm playing all my district games, it's hard to get it. You just get, and I don't mean any of this, you can tell I'm passionate guys. I don't want this to be confrontational. I respect what Howard does, what the guys in the district do, what you guys do. I want this to be more informative, but I care about this. This is having a negative impact on me. I can't take my kids to, I have to prepare them for college learning. Like in the classroom, you have to prepare them for college. They may not all know, but the parents are classic. They just have playing it. I've got a kid, Austin Byron, he graduated. He played college soccer for me at that tournament. Ohio West, watch it. I want to be able to do that, but I don't want to again take my kids to a tournament and have to come right around the way. Game on. So that's the rationale behind it. And I know I ran. I'm going to read
closing here, I put that on again. Stress, I'm thankful for just this opportunity and what you gotta do. Remind you, I'm not asking for a wholesale change, just flexibility, which I do think is built into this schedule when it talks about must receive or administrative. I think even the actual KHSAA contract has more flexibility than built into it than the schedule. I want to try to stay focused. The end goal is flexibility. And I just hope that you guys can look at this. And I know I'm sitting in the room with the man that wrote most of these bylaws, so I'm not going to focus on my interpretation of bylaws. That's not hard. But I do want to focus. Commissioner Tackett issued some observations and some recommendations. I put forward a plan that I think addresses that. I would just love that to be considered. I don't think it is allowable in competition. I would allow a certain amount of time to play match. I don't know that the district would be together. It should be able to limit that. And then actually, I honestly think I might have found a glitch in the system. I don't know if I'm the only school suffering from this or not, but I think there might need to be a policy or clarification. Scheduling plan is separate from proceeding. Days of play need to be schools. And that's all I have. Would you like to take any questions? Sorry.
Have any questions? Discussion? If not, I'd just like to say, obviously, you know, you're very passionate to drive that far this week. Thank you. One thing that I think I will say is that I think we have to be very careful as a board to stay out of decisions that should be made. And so, but we appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. And you know what? You reminded me of something that's.
It should be quiet.
He actually, no, he actually. But one thing I'll let out is, I can also talk about local control. In my experience, I feel like I know you guys from watching all the stuff. The term local control always meant each individual school district doing what's best for each individual school district, not 3 school districts getting together to decide what's best for them. So I don't even think local control would be possible. But thank you for mentioning that. I understand what you're saying, sir.
Yeah, you're in talk with me, we appreciate you.
Yes.
Coming, sure.
Yes.
So, are there any discussions?
I want to say something. I want to thank Mike and the other 3 ADs. They've been very passionate about their discussions as well. I think they've all learned a little bit about negotiating. They maybe have honed their skills a little bit. Maybe there's some of the rough edges were out there early and they're rounded off a little bit now. But I think that there's a number of things we can all talk about what ifs if we get too involved. You all are too involved in this. But I also appreciate somebody who takes a fresh look at stuff that's been written for a long time and maybe points out a some possible cleanup is necessary. It may not end up the way they like it, but it would make it clear. That's what we need from them. So, but I appreciate wholeheartedly passion. I'm telling you, I think I made that drive one time from Covington, from the state tournament to Elton for a meeting we had. It's not a short trip.
No, I'm actually 30 minutes more over now.
Yeah, so, but he is advocating for the students and we all applaud that. Like we would expect, and you all just need to digest it and see if there's any next steps.
What is the rationale for Tuesdays? I'm not trying, I'm just asking, I mean, what is the, I mean, like our official situation dictates sometimes we like, I'm just being, what is the rationale for Tuesdays?
You want
I didn't quite hear
was it just standardization?
Years ago, when this first came about, our district, 13th district, was like a lot of years, you know, our coaches at one time were allowed to do all the scheduling around, as it did in a lot. We found out once we got a little bit more organized and we talked to the assigning secretary, it appeared that in our district in baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer, we all agreed, and it's been that way for a while, up until recently. And then even with talking to the assignment secretary in soccer, it was a lot easier. We assigned those games on Tuesday. One of the things our district superintendents, principals on down like is that we had the community involvement, we had activities on campus, the same schools, parents could go, and it increased our revenue by quite a bit. But it allowed people that don't normally go to volleyball, if they were at a soccer match, they want to run in and see the volleyball. So it gave a little bit more exposure to all of our kids. If we get rained out or something on a Tuesday, then we try and make those up on a Wednesday. It's the only time our school system will let us do makeups for plays on Wednesdays. And there's always been flexibility. I'm not going to go into depth here, but we're all human beings. We always work around stuff. The schools have always, if something came up in Franklin Simpson, had to try to play on such and such. That's always been.
I think one thing that's been clear from discussing with all four is there are some possible paths that may be better, but probably just need to be continue to be discussed. And I think that sometimes discussions start out with, I use the analogy, ready, fire, aim. And I think looking back, I think maybe there's a chance that they've still got some very common ground among the four schools.
Speaking from a region that I live in that has 80% of our schools are all A schools, I understand your issues, but at the same time, I have to think that across the 240 member schools we have, we allow those districts to work those things out. And I would implore those other three schools to have some flexibility. But at the same time, I just don't think in my heart of hearts that it's this board's decision to get involved with that. And again, I could implore the other three schools to really try to understand and have some empathy. But at the same time, I just don't think it's our responsibility. Not even responsibility. I don't think we're capable of getting involved in that. Then what happens when we have a seating situation and they're lined up 40 deep at the door wanting us to make that decision? I don't think that's what our member schools want us to do.
Yes, sir. And talking to Chad before I came to that, if I had to ask for anything, it would be the clarification on what a seating plan is, what a scheduling plan is, what the contract means, how many work. That's what I would ask for. Not to you guys come mediate what's happening.
I think that plan is simply, you answered it yourself, it's what you four guys can agree on, right? It's what you four schools can agree on.
And that is, the history of that is we did not want to disrupt the Jefferson County master schedule with a statewide policy that somehow negated that. So we've allowed districts when they decide to include it all in their seating voting. But that's probably can be clarified when the next time there's turnover in these, there's no doubt about that. I think this district will continue to solve itself. I think there will be there's already some discussion that's very positive. But I think it does let us get clarity for everybody else. That part's very fruitful.
Anything else?
Like, thanks again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank Travis. Good luck in your preseason practice.
All right, moving right along, report of action from work session, 7.1 sports specific issues, 7.1 discussion, and decision point on cross.
Right, you had your discussion in the work session, you've got a recommended motion before you, and so I got logged out of the KHSAA system. But the recommended motion is that the member schools, we issue a reminder to the member schools that the requirement contained in policies to be met before consideration of championship event termination in spring of 22 will be finalized at the September 22nd. So basically, give us some time to get the responses. I think that's the gist of what our drill said.
So in the further discussion,
I'll make that motion.
okay, so we have a motion to second. All in favor? Opposed? Carries. 7.1.2, allowing issues and updates.
We would ask for a motion to accept the report of all of those reports. You don't need to make, I don't think you need to make a separate motion on each one. These things you're going to be looking at this year.
Okay, so that will be for all those, all in, all the way down.
Correct.
So no actions needed.
Just accepting the report.
Just need a motion to accept the report. That motion, James. Second, Joe. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Down to 7.3, checks reports.
If you were to get a motion to accept those reports, they would include the two contract issues we talked about with baseball and the tennis, and give us permission to finalize those. We'll give you all the details.
So motion to accept those reports. Second, floor. All in favor? Opposed? Item 8, Constitution and bylaw issues. 8.1.
It's just a report that you do not need to accept. We gave you a report about 128, no action. And then we did talk to you about the COVID start of this year, and we're staying on schedule, and we will list that in the minutes unless you all have an issue.
Something that they want to do. So it's 8.3 in the meeting.
Yeah, we will need separate items if you would. That we approve the second reading of the constitutional clarifications regarding board elections. We talked about the ties and the races with board.
So I need a motion. Lucy second. Larry. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Bylaw 6, consider that waiver.
There would be a proposal to, these are all proposals we submitted annually, but a proposal to amend bylaw 6 be drafted to incorporate the language in 157-350 section 1.4b, which is the staff with the clarifications that will give the exact definition included in the bylaw. Sure.
Questions or discussion? I just need a motion. Mark, second. Pete. All in favor? Any opposed? Carries. Bylaw 9.
If I am correct, the work session and summary discussion was that we drafted a proposal for the schools that would eliminate preseason restrictions that are prior to October 15th on basketball within bylaw 9.
That's my understanding. Any discussion? That motion. A second. Mark, yeah.
Basketball coach.
Okay, all right. Here we go. All in favor? Any opposed? Bylaw 7, interstaff, excuse me, I said 7, bylaw 11.
We would, if you will accept this report, we'll issue communication to the schools reminding them that the governor's in the order in our high schools and make sure that that's out there.
So I need a motion to accept the report. Pete, second by the board. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Item 9, schools operations and non-specific issues. Item 1, for the application for membership renewal.
That motion is worded to where you approve the renewal of memberships with the exception of any school in which there is a current compliance discussion that might be included or not.
Questions? Copy the motion to accept that recommendation. Pete, seconded by Lucy. All in favor? Opposed? Oh, so any new membership applications?
921 is our one we need you to please move to approve.
That would be, Special for Heritage. So, any questions? Approve them. Greg, motion seconded. Names, questions? All in favor, right hand? Opposed? Okay. Item 3, just need to accept this report. Motion to accept this report. Joe, seconded. Pete, all in favor, raise your hand. Opposed? 9.4, need to accept this report.
This will establish our corresponding dates for this year and get everything, start getting sites lined up for state events and start working with the schools on the area.
Discussion. I just need a motion to accept this report. Mr. Gavin, seconded by.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes. Well,
Yeah. Let's give them a second.
yeah, video. You got that.
Oh, okay.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye. I say aye. Any opposed? Change stuff over there. From there, yeah. Wait. See, I'll pay attention to this. All right, no action on 10.1, okay.
So
What about the, no, that's on 9.5, 10.1, schedule events, nothing there.
10.2 is the movement of the original board date.
So we will need action to, because we were scheduled to meet on the 16th. Would like to move that to the 27th.
So moved.
Okay. Second. Any questions? All in favor, raise your hand. Opposed? Deal. I get that in the calendar. Second, 21st is the annual meeting. 22nd.
21st is January, 20th is the new administrative workshop. Just really okay.
Revenue finance and admin review. I one ticket report.
If you can just accept these for noting in the minutes.
Gotcha. Okay. Just need a motion to accept those. Flora. Yep. Good deal. Marty, second that also. I thought you did. Marty, second, all in favor? Any opposed? I'm trying, guys. Item 12.
After 12 hours, I'll be upset.
Officials, if we don't have these guys, we don't do anything. Licenses.
We would like you to accept the report with a note to the schools. We're really going to have to make a united effort, or we're going to end up starting to cancel it. I mean, really needs to be a group, a project for all of us, all to it. We'll accept that report. We'll do correspondence to that effect.
Need a motion to accept that report. Greg, seconded by Russell, all in favor? Opposed? We go. 13 report, information, reports information, 13.1. The National Federation Summer Meeting.
If I could ask, we move this from the work session, if I could ask the staff in the most concise means possible. Or would you like them to go into more detail?
No. But that'd be fun.
Let's do more detail, because I do like the public expression of what happened as a justification for the expense. I really did. I think it's small, but we've been here long.
That's September. Well, like,
No, sir. Will be noted, sir.
all right, 13.2.
You have a number of things that are reports that just things that are going on around the country, a lot of them about NIL, to share with you. We are still working on trying to find a way within our website, the best way to put these on the website, not have attachments, so you can keep current. Some of you don't have time to do that, but there's others of you that really like to know what's going on. Just for your information.
Appreciate you saying that. 13.3 transfer. Appeals report.
We'll need to accept this.
Need a motion to accept that report. Larry, seconded by Greg, all in favor? Opposed? Any opposed?
We have an item of business that's not on the agenda. And there's lots of things, because we met for a long time in May as well, there may be some people that should have caught this and didn't. But Kirby and I got together a couple of weeks ago, as we looked at the board term layout, Kirby would not be eligible to serve as president the year he normally would be president, because his region cannot be represented after the school year. His region will have had 8 years. It's unfortunate that, and maybe this one-time staff took too distant an approach. We trust the other officer staff. We should have picked that up. But he has asked in conversation that he be permitted to step aside as president-elect and allow the board the opportunity to elect a new president-elect who would have the benefit of the 2 years. His quote to me was, "It's not about the gavel. I'm going to say my opinions, whether I sit up front or not." But he would really feel like it would have to be an advantage to the next president to serve this year's president-elect and then president the year after. The only people that are precluded from that opportunity are those that are in their first year. And everybody else in your board policies can do it. So I think you probably need to open up, and Kirby will preside over this, but probably need to open up the opportunity for nominations for president-elect, serve for this year, and then president next year. So you're looking at somebody that's got at least 2 years. That's a concern.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't amazing.
You got a year's worth of presiding in one day.
Got my money's worth. That's still my guess. So,
But so be it self-nomination or fellow member nomination, volunteer nomination.
so that's y'all understand, right? Good with that. All right, so I guess the floor's open for, I'll take nominations for serve president-elect this year, and president next year. So I think that Mr. Miller would like to be with us next year.
Yes, Marlon will serve yes this year.
So,
Mr. Miller.
I would volunteer. I'll serve if you guys want me to. Step on anybody's toes or anything like that. I'll be more willing to step in. That would be great.
so we have Matt who's in. Else.
I'm not gonna be here, but I think that would be a good choice.
Blessed with a room full of people that will do a good job. Staff, like I said, say that. We're blessed with a room full of people. Some of them do the job. Y'all just need to decide this is 100% board.
Anyone else? I have. Yeah. Last chance. Okay, and then we'll close the nominations at that point. Matt? Congratulations. No, it won't be.
Yeah, football.
It's 5:30. So, okay, all right.
Do you think, Chad, you or Darrell, the parliamentary experts, do they need to take a vote on it?
It needs to be a motion made by acclamation.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, then I just need a motion, that Matt will be the president-elect starting
Yeah, starting tomorrow.
right, starting tomorrow. James, second by Mr. Ward. Okay, all those in favor of Matt, raise your right hand. Any opposed? No, maybe.
We had an employee one year that started and lasted one day and they gave us his resignation. That's what I heard.
Okay, quick round table too, right? It's 4:30, so
Great seeing everybody. Had a great time doing last night. Go back, thank you, Daryl, and appreciate you guys' confidence in me. And see you guys next couple months.
Excited to meet everybody, excited to join this board. Dinner was great, so I really appreciate that. I'm just looking forward to getting to know everybody.
Thanks for great dinner, thanks for everything you all do. We're gonna miss all of our people that are leaving. Christmas.
I never really say that. And so that's kind of where I'm at. The shop is moving forward.
Great to see everybody. It's a good part of the state here. Part of here. Thanks for golf. Awesome yesterday. Just wish everybody a great start to the school year. So it's a lot more students this year than last year.
Excited about starting my second year. I feel a little bit more comfortable this year than last year. Hope everybody has a great school year. Thank you all for all that you do. I know last year was unbelievable. And like nothing we've ever experienced. I hope this year that we can get a lot more ball games in for our kids. So you need anything from me, I'm calling.
Thank you all for being so welcoming and looking forward to serving. That's a great school year.
Thanks, Mark, for your kind words, and I guess the national meeting really brought out me again, of course. People have done the things that we did last year, and some of those kind of cautious, sure. But I think it already worked well. I said you hear some of them from the states and what the organization is running. Here that our kids represented by staff.
Thank you for welcoming me. I'm really excited to be out in the state and actually the opportunity to represent and advocate the KHSAA and hopefully bring in some revenue. So if you know any needs, I will be happy to take that. So once I get my business card, I'll make sure that everybody has one of those. So thank you.
It's been a pleasure hanging out with you this couple of days. Mark, it's been a good relationships. Real good relationships. Appreciate it. Look forward to all the new board members coming on. Thanks for all that. Safe travels. And see you soon.
Again, it's been great getting to know you, Mark. Thanks for your friendship in a short amount of time. It's awesome to meet some of these newer board members, and can't wait to work with you all on what we hope is a more normal year this year. Everyone's looking forward to that. So safe travels and see you soon.
Mark, thanks for your reflection. We can still do some ball 600 letters over the phone. I'll see you at the field hockey under new management. It's great seeing everybody as usual. Safe travels.
Welcome to the new members, and shared with the commissioner last night, I don't know how long Gavin will be able to work, because I found out he's a Chicago Cubs fan.
I was sitting.
If I'd have known that, I'd have had this thing play right here.
But it's good to see everybody, and Mr. Evans, thank you for your service.
Welcome to the new members. We're looking forward to working with you. And as some of us stated, if there's anything we can do to help you, feel free to call us. But Mark, thank you for your service. Obviously, you and I had a different relationship a little bit before this, which was always enjoyable as well. But we wish you luck with the grandbaby in your future, and safe travels to everybody. And we'll be seeing you a lot more in the next few months.
Mr. Evans, Richard Tess, appreciate all your support. It's been great to the staff. Welcome to the new members. Mr. Billings, thanks for the fellowship opportunities.
I just want to, thank Mr. Evans for going off and welcome new board members. I thought the reflection was interesting, and it's kind of one of those fun moments that we get. And we learned something about Mark that we didn't know. 20 years old, asked to drop out of college to teach. I mean, that's unique, that's neat. And it says volumes about where he came from. and says volumes about the human being and the person he is, which is very similar when our board members tell stories. They all have those stories. I think of Reed Atkins and it's Greasy Creek. I think of, other board members that have done it, and that's the unique nature of this board, what makes it so good. Last night, it was refreshing, looking around the table, seeing everybody breaking bread and talking, being social, something that we've all desperately missed as a society for the past year and a half. So it's just great to be back together.
I agree with Chad. It's great to be back in person. So, I want to thank everybody that's in this room because your passion and what you do for kids is very underappreciated. And the only people that really understand it is the people in this room. You guys, what you guys do on a daily basis, I say it every time, I'm going to continue to say it. It's incredible. There's no way nothing that happens at all these events goes on without you guys and this commissioner. Great stuff. Mark, I hope the late night phone calls still happen. Those of you that haven't been around Mark and been able to hear some of those stories, you're gonna miss out. An incredible man, and I'm proud to call you my friend, and I love you.
Mark, thanks for the year. Unfortunately, I've been around for long, but it's been good to get to know you and so forth. To the new members, welcome. I would like to warn you, they told me last year, meetings kind of fly by. It's here, Kirby, continue to know, so we'll see how it goes when we go out. Love that. But again, thanks for everything you guys have done. Great year last year, got through it, and hopefully this year we can make more better.
Mark, I will quote Mike Klein's, thank you, good and faithful servant. That was Mike's favorite saying, so. But good luck with what you do. You're going to love your grandbaby more and more than you do. But good luck with that. Welcome to our new members. We're glad to have you. I think you're going to really enjoy this board. I think you're going to enjoy the people, and I think you're going to look up in 4 years or 8 years and say, wow, I've been some of the best friends I have for the rest of my life. I really believe that with all sincerity. The reason our meeting was drug out today, we heard more conversation from Darren Bill Weary than we've heard in
sports back. But thank you so much for the job we do. Safe travels, everybody going home. Hope to see some of you at the Hall of Fame match tomorrow night. We've got a lot of great inductees and hope we'll have a nice evening.
Thanks to everybody for continuing to be so welcoming, to the staff, continue to be amazed with your professionalism and expertise and how everything is done. To Mark, I only met you back in May, but you went out of his way at that meeting to come talk to me, and it's moving on to the best job he's probably ever had now as a grandfather. So safe travels to everybody going home, and look forward to seeing you all again in September.
Last night, I appreciate everyone's conversation and had a good time. I showed up and I was impressed. I told Bush that I was bringing my son to the game tonight. He's never been to the Major League game, and he jumped right on. He's going to make him a St. Louis Cardinals fan. Cardinals fan. Well, I don't know if that was you, but I was impressed by that. Your commitment. I'm looking forward to that tonight. Mark, I appreciate it. I appreciate our time together. I hope we have more. I enjoyed and look forward to showing up at Motel Lakes today and hopefully seeing you there and have conversations, listen to stories. So it's going to be missed, but I hope we still have the opportunity to do that in the future. But the new board members, welcome. And at this point, where we were last year to where we are right now, I feel a lot more confident. And I feel like our kids are in good hands, and financially, it's good to hear good reports back. So I'm glad to be a part of the board and bring great people like staff. Thank you.
First of all, I'm a Cardinals fan, so I just want to make sure that you understood that. I like to hang around with my years. Congratulations, Mark. I had an opportunity to get to know you real well in a short time I had. It's just
pretty amazing. Like to sit around and listen to stories, and I guess that would mean that I'm not getting old too. So congratulations to you and good luck moving forward. Thanks to all the staff and everybody on the board for making me feel welcome. Obviously, I'm in the beginning, so I've loved it for a while, getting trained with it, and hopefully after a while, that'll subside. Look forward to the next 3 years.
Thanks, Mark, for your reflection. We really enjoyed it. It was welcoming board members, and hope you all have a great start to the school year. So.
Mark, thank you. Mark's, which is in the right place. Can't always say that. Can't achieve. Members welcome, and we will enjoy this, and that's what I asked. Guys, thanks for the fellowship last night. It's good. Appreciate it. Safe travels to here. Start your school.
Well, I've had way too much to say today. We haven't done a good orientation in a couple of years, so I appreciate your all's patience, but I thought it would help us all long term. To Darrell and Pete, the last 2 years, different doesn't begin to describe it, in serving in that role. They could not have been more supportive of staff, trying to navigate this, and it was essential. We don't make it, we made it as a team. And I think that certainly their leadership is a key part of that. Thank you on behalf of the staff who will be, we'll talk Monday about budget approval and what that means down the road. I think, I guarantee you their appreciation will be right there for everything we're doing. And I know that better things are still coming. We had good days, it's going to be even better. Mark, I'll tell you what, I was starting to say I'll miss your 3-page texts, but I think they're still coming. I think they're still coming. I hope that when Mark and I first encountered each other, I was the guy with the Pepe Le Pew mustache. You seen some of the pictures of Butch Cassidy. Back in the early 80s, he was coaching. I always say that I knew Mark before I was me and he was he. We've been together that long. It's a brotherhood. And you don't get too many of those in life. And I'm thankful. You know what I mean? Certainly, it is the hardest thing we'll have to do is the last procedural thing. It's really the hardest thing that I've ever do. I've got to reach out, and Mark and I will work together to identify this replacement. That's in the last year of the term. That's how we do it. We'll let you know who that is. It'll come out of the 8 private schools. And he'll have a strong hand in that, as we've always allowed them. But we will miss the night before and the social, but we'll miss you more than anything. So with that, I think we've had enough of a meeting, frankly. And I appreciate your all's patience very, very much.
Motion to adjourn.
Who's first to what? Oh, that's one for the
Mark, you want to help us out?
There we go.
Mark, second. All in favor?
There we go.
She opposed.
Hey, Mark.